Hi, Geminis. This is your tarot/oracle reading for the month of January 2020. Okay, well, first off, on what I'm getting from Spirit is going with astrology. But they're giving me Scorpio. That's brand new, like as soon as I started the video. For me, Scorpio is fertility, but it's the mystery of life. It's also, the birth, death, rebirth. I feel like you're going through a lot of that. That didn't make any damn sense. For some of you, you're moving. Okay. For some of you, you're moving, you're changing forms, you're shape shifting, because they're giving me movable property. And that could be actually moving, changing things in some form or another. But that could go with the birth, death, rebirth, the fertility, the shift of the change. Like I said, the death and the rebirth. They're giving me personal foundations is what they're giving me. But they're also giving me some of this is self-judgment or family judgment. Some of this is relationship grief, sorrow, shame, blame. You're definitely in the 8th house because we're in Capricorn up until the 21st when we actually move into Aquarius season. And for you, Capricorn, at least in some form, if you're watching this as a Gemini, whether you're sun, moon, rising, whether it's a rising sign, an emotional sign because you're coming in under the moon, or your sun, some form or another, it's meaning aspects in that universal 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio as well. The death and the rebirth, the fertility, the shifting. But it is also speaking to you in some form of regenerating of the relationships. And what are the relationships? And what does those relationships own? What are they responsible for? What are the responsibilities to these relationships? Whether it be, dating, sex, bills, holding up your end of the deal in the relationship. Or it's, family related and spousal jobs, paying the rent, sex, or it could be, working environments, getting paid, doing the work. It is speaking to you of joint resources, joint finances, and joint efforts of what these relationships are, and are you truly addressing them with the proper resetting of the rules, walls, boundaries. Excuse me, whenever they make me start sneezing, that has to do with cleaning house. That has to do with, removing the negativity from your very body, from your very energy, and getting it away from you. So in some forms, this is saying realizing the abundance of these relationships and what is good and what is not, and getting rid of what is not. For some of you, that's definitely sex. Because they are also leading me into the fact, Spirit, is that this is some of you are very quickly to go right into that universal 12th house. And the 12th house is where we keep our hidden secrets. It's where our karmic debts are finding their way. It's our self-deception, our mental illnesses, the way we think about things. It is our self-undoing. For some of you, I'm even being told this is where you're very close to suicide. I'm sorry, but I'm giving you what I'm being given. Some of this is dealing with government issues. Some of this could be dealing with kidnapping, or lack of nurturing in a childlike way, whether it's addressing things where you were neglected or things that you now are going down the same cycle of neglecting. They're saying pay attention to details this month. Pay attention to your phone calls and the gossip this month. And say this has to do with your personal foundations again. And your subconsciousness becoming conscious. Now, I just made the video for the beginning of 2020, and Spirit was giving me conscience, not conscious. Conscience has to do with leading us to inner peace, you know, being able to sleep at night with who and what you are and what you've done and your decisions. And I think that this has to do with, you know, you coming into your power in a new way, and your subconscious becoming conscious, along with your own inner peace, finding it and what that means. Now, you're having the lunar eclipse is going to take place in your second house, which is going to be right there in your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. But you have karma all over your 8th house and what those relationships are. They're saying this isn't just relationships of like love relationships. This is also within the community. Within the community, the memberships, the friends you keep, the honor that you are or not getting. Let's see what the cards have to say. Gemini. Well, you're the first one speaking, so we'll go there. My little notes to myself. What's the platform energy for Gemini the month of January 2020? It's the platform energy for Gemini in the month of 2020. I'm getting growth. That's a good thing. I'm not taking like 5 cards, guys. That's me talking to Spirit. What is the platform energies? They're saying some of this is your own mental deception. This might have to do with the way you talk to yourself. Your own self-deception, your own self-undoing. Karmic habits that need to be broken. Initiating new goals and ambitions. What we've been talking about here. Let me just show it to you. This is my sacred geometry deck. I always want to call it sacred space, but it's sacred geometry. This is speaking to you of 2 holes, which equal 1 birthplace. It is examine the relationships and if they are honorable. If they are in balance. Because if they're in balance, they become 1 hole for 1 seed. More or less. See how they're coming together? Let's see. It's the very same things that Spirit was saying already. They're saying pay attention to your humanitarian interests. Your outer world interests and your creativity. Because there's transformation going on there. What else is going on in the platform for Gemini in the month of January 2020? What else is going on in the platform? It's considered a wise friend. It is the tree. Acknowledge the old ways. Acknowledge the old ways. the ones of the old ways, the trees. Histories, lessons, and they are teachers. So, like I said, this is something with your subconscious becoming conscious, because they're wanting you to examine the relationships and are they honorable? Learning from the mistakes. Walking down memory lane through your past and acknowledging where that's not working for you and making proper changes, it seems like. You know what? What else? Gemini. Can you give me some other information about the platform for Gemini for the month of January? Platform for the month of January. I just keep hearing conscious, becoming conscious, coming into your conscious mind. Reflection. This month is about reflection for you. And it makes sense. Like I said, you're coming from that 8th house. You're from that 8th house to that 9th house. You know, but Spirit is giving me some of that 12th house reflection that's going on, more or less. You're in the 8th house until you're in the 9th house, and then that's actually after the 21st. Relaxation. This is telling you more or less some meditation time, some inward time for yourself. Child expression is coming out as well. This is telling you to get right with your soul, to listen to yourself, to learn the lessons of your past so that you can help you move yourself forward. Is there anything else before I switch to the next area? Anything else for Gemini? Okay, you moved. Anything else for Gemini? For the month of... This is about karmic debts. Like I said, you're not actually in the 12th house, but they're giving you a lot of 12th house stuff. Guidance, but it came upside down. So this is you not trusting your inner guidance. This is you questioning your inner guidance. This is, like I said, where your mind has been telling you shit that you're afraid to listen to, or you've been telling yourself shit. You've been, you know, not giving yourself the proper healing, the proper nurturing, the proper guidance in some way for it to come out upside down, because I don't hold my cards upside down. This is about new beginnings for you. So this is like a lotus flower time. You know, you're coming out of that muddy, murky water. You're coming out of the swamp, as I put it. And you're learning how to rise above that. Understanding how to allow the conscience to tell you what you need and listen to it. I was just told investments in self. So this looks like a good thing. All right, what is going on in the up close and personal relationships? Even though that's what we've been talking a lot about. What's going on in those up close personal relationships? Or what else is going on in those up close and personal relationships? I'm hearing self-deception again. And I'm getting horns. This is either being too stubborn, too stuck in your way, or this is like that this is like the devil energy. And if I said dragon and I connected it with the devil, this is not being courageous, not standing in that power, being afraid to, because the dragon is all about victory and being courageous. The devil comes in typically to me of self-deception, overly self-passionate, you know, going after the things on some level, like maybe one night stands, sex and stuff like that. Things that you do just for passion, just to get for fun, but it doesn't have any depth. and it doesn't take you down the right road, bad addictions. What I'm getting is you're not having courage enough to go after what you do want. And what's coming up is the dancing prayer. And this is exactly what I was getting. Lack of passion, dullness. Action is needed. Action is needed to be taken. If you want something, you must go after it. But you must know what you want. And the point is saying right from the beginning is, what you want, is it honorable? Is it something that you really want in life? You know, that's part of the questions here. What am I missing? Up close and personal relationships. What am I missing? What am I missing? Up close and personal relationships. Generosity is coming in upside down. This is either you're being too generous and you're giving everybody what they want and you're not getting any of what you want, or you're just not being generous at all. It's all your way or none at all. It's one of two. Empowerment. This feels like you need to take your power back within these relationships. Like I said, find action, find passion, but find it with dignity, and then take your power back in these relationships. And these social foundations is what I just heard. Anything else in up close and personal? Finding a positive outlook about this. This is finding a new way to stand sure-footedly, you know, as you move forward, by listening to your inner conscience and knowing what it is that you need to nurture, what it is you don't, knowing what it is you want, knowing what it is you don't, and then going after it, having the power, taking the action, you know, bringing generosity to yourself, not just everyone else, and finding that empowerment again. Is there anything else here in up close and personal relationships that Gemini needs to hear about? Spirit's saying it's a transformational healing that you're going through. I'm getting, first off, you need clarification, a larger perspective. You need to learn the lesson here and enter the state of higher awareness within the relationship. Then I am getting, you're starved from your sacred center. You're not giving yourself the love you need. You're giving it to everybody else. You're trying to find balance and you're trying to understand. But by trying to do it for everyone else, you're not receiving any of it for yourself. This is confront the imbalance and what is out of control. What is going on in the outer community, you know, financially, goals, ambitions. What is going on for Gemini in the outer community, goals, ambitions? You were right there. Well, in this area, it says you're connected far beyond the self, beyond the 3D. You are shifting consciousness, unity, and honor. So you're coming together outwardly. It's just emotionally is where you're having the problem. Outwardly, and the big picture, the goals, the dreams, you know what you're going after. The transformation is taking place. But I feel like the relationships is what's going to push it, you know, those goals, those ambitions, those dreams, the financial success to go in the right direction by putting those people back in their place and making sure that you're standing your ground. this month. But they keep giving me the mental illness. Okay, this is wrong. This is the mental illness where you talk badly to yourself, where you're self-deception, where you've allowed yourself to be on a lower vibrational level, to think you're not as important. They're telling you, they're giving you the infinity. Remember that you're eternal. The infinity. This is beyond measure, beyond 3D, beyond, the now. This is, you are part of everything, and you deserve everything. Just as much as anybody else does, you deserve to have this transformation. You deserve to be, beyond just a third dimensional what the fuck ever world. You deserve to pull yourself into this, but you must do it. It is your free will that makes that happen and changes this. It makes things start to really lead you away from your own self-deception, so to speak. This is the promise of the future. By listening to these things and doing these things for yourself right now, getting past your self-undoing. This is growing. This is definitely a time of growth and maturity on a spiritual and soulful level for you. You are protected as long as you believe in it. Things are definitely turning around. The karmic lesson is being learned as long as you're doing your part. Being you, learning how to be you and enjoy you. Nope. You're burning in a different place. Where? I felt that shift then. Thank you. You're just afraid of the healing. You're afraid to take the chances. But by doing so, it's going to bring you that personal transformation. And it will help you to love yourself and the world around you. Help you to bring it to you. I mean, it sounds like it's a very good month for you, but it all depends on you coming into your power. Surrender. Surrender to yourself. Surrender to your higher self. Surrender to the fact that you are not in control of every single detail, and that you can loosen the grip on some of it, but those things that are up to you for free will to choose, you must choose the right things. But you can't control everything. There are some things that free will isn't a part of. The only way you're going to get the happiness is to know how to follow. Follow your heart. Follow your heart and know that some of those other situations out there are going to be taken care of and not by you. Splendor. I love you guys. Bye.